when are we gonna be able to tear down the stigma that cops are above us? Because that's not true. You guys are low-level bastards.
Bitches.
You're low-level bastards that
and I'm not
wear
speaking
blue.
to the ones that stand up for the cause.
Of course, like I said, there's.
Welcome back, it's Binky.
And this is King. Before we start this video and before I say my spiel, I want to first remember and also keep in our prayers all the people that have been lost or that have been affected, families and that's been affected by police brutality, also any form of injustice that as Black Americans or any other minority as well. We both want to say that we want to thank you guys for bringing your presence to this earth, but also want to remember you in a proper way. So first we want to say R.I.P. to George Floyd.
Absolutely.
To Ahmaud Arbery.
Breonna Taylor.
And also David McAtee. All these people were lost to some form of injustice and also to some form of police brutality. And we just want to remember that. But that's why the somber feeling for this video is that. So today, before we start this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and also
ring that bell
so that you can be notified about any video that we upload. So today's video is gonna be a mixture of things because it's been very somber, to be honest with you guys. Reason why as of recently we haven't been making videos because me personally I've been going through my own form of depression and form of just a lot of eerie things and currently, with the situation that's going on today, right now as we speak, where many people are still protesting, many people are still looting, many people are still rioting, because all these people are standing up to fight with us.
Right.
And when I mean with us, I don't mean just because of my skin color, but everybody that's been faced any form of injustice. But
absolutely,
we also want to remember that we say Black Lives Matter, there's a reason behind it.
Right.
It's not to belittle anybody or to say that this person doesn't matter or that person doesn't matter.
Because of course all lives matter.
Yes.
It's just I don't like that people are trying to downplay what's happening right now with that. All lives matter. Of course all lives matter. But what's happening right now is very important. Downplay that to say all lives matter. Yeah. I mean, I think we all know,
But until Black Lives Matter, that statement should never really be used.
Right.
Those words should never be used, and the confusion behind it should never be misunderstood. The reason why we're saying Black Lives Matter is because of the fact that there's a lot of people, and me personally, I'm dealing with that as we speak. But I'll get into that a little bit later. But we are just here just to give our thoughts and give what we think. And just kind of put in our 2 cents, so we use our platform to let everybody know that these types of injustice are unacceptable and
disgusting.
And to see that whether it's the cops or whether it is fellow Americans, how we've been trying to remain peaceful for over 400 years. And remain peaceful and remain, a upstanding citizen, and we're still getting no respect and still getting killed because of based off the color of our skin. and it's sad because living it as a black man, I have to fear for my life. So I'm not saying I do, but there is a subtle in the back of your head where I might not come home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I fear my life where I'm from, which is Connecticut. I don't really fear it because I feel like Connecticut cops, yes, you have your, just like everybody does, have their bad apples, but you also have your good. And as long as you're just pretty much, you are being a respectful person, I don't feel like worry about that. The problem I worry about is when I decide to ever leave Connecticut, whether it's vacation, whether it's moving, whatever it is, those things bother me. So like I could have been taking my car, taking a trip to wherever, but other places have so many injustices that it's like you kind of have to keep that in the back of your head.
Right.
And,
absolutely.
And it's so as people are not understanding that with this skin color, it comes with a lot of things. It comes with a lot of unwarranted hatred. It comes with a lot of misrepresentation, because a lot of people don't understand that black people or people of color aren't people of war.
Right.
We're not people that cause war. That we're not people that have brought problems. We only uprise and we only done things because
when needed.
When needed,
there's
because
disrespect, when there's lives taken for no reason.
It's tough to see what's going on and then try to be silent, because at the end of the day, it's my people.
Right.
It's our people being killed and being pushed aside. You know, like I said, just because George Floyd is on the news, there's hundreds of cases,
right, that
just
aren't even out in the open,
that are just like George Floyd, or just like Breonna Taylor, or not even a cop didn't even have to kill, even though it was retired, but this wasn't a cop that killed Ahmaud Arbery. This was three civilians that did not, weren't minding their business, that now like I have to fear my life on going outside or being in certain areas or certain places, because you know what, this person might follow me and I might lose my life. So it's and it
makes it more sickening that their excuses are shit. Like that's never okay.
Yeah,
nobody just try to get away with that, and that's not right. No,
nobody deserves that, regardless of anything. You know, oh, I thought he was. You're not.
How many times they're gonna try to blame something on assumptions?
Exactly.
But under the rug, because back then it's not that now. Like a lot more things are like broadcasted now because of the type of sources we have. So
which is true.
It's sick. It's really sick. And when I'm not educated about a situation, I'm not saying that I don't know the things that are happening, but I wanted to dive deeper into different cases and different things. And I have 49 cases that I had looked up personally by myself just to learn more about, I don't want to get emotional, different, like even children, like in the midst dying because of these cops just doing random things and just accusing and trying to make someone look bad so they could do what they want to do.
That's the ongoing thing that media does, and that everybody else does, because just like I said with Ahmaud Arbery, Ahmaud was training to be an electrician, went into the home to look out the electricity and look at everything, and they saw him, assumed that he stole something, and because they thought they had the authority, and because they have these amendment rights, and that they can do, they felt like they had to murder this man because because he was looking at a place. He didn't leave with anything, and I feel like he was jogging to jog. I think he was jogging to run away because he was fear of his life. So it's stuff like that where it's like people, and then they try to say, oh, he did this or he did that,
to make him look crazy,
yeah,
or look a certain type of way.
You can't do that.
Some of these videos I've watched of some of this stuff happening, you can tell that they were doing certain things to make it seem like the person was either fighting back or saying something. And I'm watching these people stay silent or say simple things like, I can't breathe, or I don't have anything. You know, why are you holding me like that? Why are you doing that? That's all I heard most of these people say in their videos, and they made it seem like they had weapons or something. You know how many of these people...
It goes to that, to the George Floyd situation as well, where a man was taken and he was cooperating with the cops the whole time until they brought him to the car, behind the car, and started beating his ass, and 3 people held a cuffed man to the ground, and as other people are telling them, yo, he can't breathe, and he's screaming himself that he cannot breathe and cries for his mother, and in that interim,
that's disgusting.
It bothers me a lot because I lost my mother, and his mother was deceased, but I lost my mother in pretty, not the same fashion, but damn near the same fashion. My mother was killed in a car crash, and the person who did it, and I'm not sure, but nothing was confirmed, but from sources I have, it was an off-duty policeman. Right. And when the whole situation went on, it was almost like it was supposed to be swept under the rug, but because of the fact that they found out that she was a mother, she did have people that support. And right now, and then we can go back into our stuff, but kind of right now, I kind of want to call into arms, because now my situation is, it's not saying it's prolonged, but I also feel like I feel like nothing is being done right.
Yes, she deserves justice. I feel like a lot of things get swept under the rug because they have that badge of authority, but they abuse that. Because if anything, they should be held to a higher standard than anybody else, because their job is to serve and protect. And if you do something wrong, you need to say what you're doing wrong. And I'm not saying this incidents that are happening now, just in general. I see that they get away with a lot of things.
They do.
And just firing somebody is not enough. That's not enough. Like, you should rot in jail. If that's if what you did, that's how you should go out. Period. Like, that's not okay.
And that's
or shutting them up with a little bit of money. No, that doesn't bring anybody back. That's not how you do it. No.
But some
they need justice. They need the story to be heard. They don't need to sweep things under.
They're only trying to do that to cater to us. But like I said, firing them before, they would have just put them on leave if that was the case.
Leave pay. I was reading some of this, and it was some of them was why are they getting why are they
on leave
put on leave and they're paid?
Yep.
When you killed or you hurt somebody,
because,
or when you went into a situation, you went into houses without a search warrant. Kill somebody, hit a kid by accident, and killed them too, and that's all you're getting.
And that's the sad reality about how
that's not right.
And to be honest with you, it has nothing to do with the fact that of race of a white cop, or because it's even black cops that's doing this because of the fact that the cops feel like they have privilege, and they feel like they have they're above us, which is not true. This is not true. I'm a taxpayer. She's a taxpayer. There's a lot of people that are taxpayers, and you know who they work for? The police work for? They work for us.
Right.
They don't work. They don't work to. They don't work for other people. For a organization or they're above us. They're not. We're supposed to follow. You know, if we're given orders, this, that, and the third, but as far as who they work for us, and our voices are not being heard, and our voices are not being taken seriously. I'm personally dealing with this, and this bothers me more than anything, because like I said, I'm seeing another black person being killed, and another person's situation either being swept under the rug or having to be called on arms and called by media to do this. And my mother's name was Denise Fogel, and my mother died on September 28th, 2018, and she was killed by a drunk driver. But she was also, and this is all news, not like this is all can be found. She was also intoxicated because she dealt with her own situation at the time.
Right.
But the reason why I'm talking about it is because the fact that if once I give you guys the details and once I let you guys know, you'll understand why I personally need help. Whether it's, you know, either whether it's donations or whether it's advice or whether it's legal help, I'm willing for anything because I'm still dealing with the debts. But that night, the last day I heard from my mother, because she called me and I was with a acquaintance at the time, and wasn't home. She called me, she asked me where I was. She thought I was on Boston Ave in Bridgeport, and I let her know, no, I wasn't there, but I'm gonna be going out. So she let me know. She said, I love you and to be safe. And I told her the same. I said, I love you, be safe. That was the last time I physically heard from my mother. So she was headed home towards the going on the highway. A driver was swerving in and out of lanes and almost hit one car. This person ended up bouncing off this light pole and went right into my mother's lane and hit her head on, which resulted in crushing my mother's chest in and severing her arteries. So she was unconscious. She was pronounced dead 12/17. I was unaware of all of this because of the fact that nobody was thought to contact me when I had the registration to the car she was in. I was on other things. My name was on other things that were in the car that she had. And then she also had her identification on her. So they could have easily searched me up. I didn't find out my mother died until 6 p.m. On the Saturday. And that was, 12 whole hours of me not knowing that. When I went to the hospital to identify my mother, I was asking questions that you would normally ask. Hey, where's her purse? Where's her identity? Why did it take you guys so long to call me? And answers weren't being answered. They were just running around. We get in contact with the police detective that's on the case, and he had nothing to do with it that night, but he has to do with the case in general. So, the problem is that they still have not, to this day, and this is June 3rd of 2020. My mother still does not have a police report. They still do not have a police report because it did get turned into a criminal case.
But they don't even update you, period.
I have not been updated, whether it's through my lawyer. I don't know anything. I've contacted my lawyer about certain things. I don't get responses until later. So I feel like everything is very everything on everybody's end is fishy. I can't really pinpoint because at the end of the day I don't have a degree in law. Right. But because I have common sense, I do know that there is certain things that certain measures that have needed to be taken, and I don't feel like it's being taken. I feel like my mother's situation is being swept under the rug
because it was an officer.
And even that night, the crazy thing is that night, the officer, while my mother is unconscious and getting sent, trying to get ready to get sent to the hospital, he gets a verbal warning. Refuses medical help. Not once on the road.
Right, and don't they have to test them?
Not once on the road.
Intoxicated as well?
Exactly. Not once on the road, but also when he went to the hospital, which we don't know why he went to the hospital if he was going to refuse medical help. So he was refusing medical help. Tell the news that it was my mother's fault. As there was people who seen when the aftermath of the crash, him throwing things over a fence that the crash happened by. So it's like nothing. I know everything doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. But doesn't make sense on how situations like this are being constantly swept under the rug.
Right. So
it's
they
not
have other
fair.
people fending for them, and that's not fair. And as a person, just as a human being, that's shitty. Period. Because I know me, even if the situation was an accident, I will turn myself in. Because that's sad.
Even
that's disgusting.
They cannot find these people now. I don't even know the people, the guy's name. No, I know what you mean. Like, but I don't even know the person's name.
Mistakes happen.
They haven't even, from the time I've known, they haven't been able to get in contact with these people. And I don't feel like they're doing enough.
I don't feel like they're trying.
I don't feel like it's being trying and they're doing enough.
I don't feel like they're trying, because if it was somebody else in the street selling drugs or something, they would have got his ass already. How the hell do they track those people down? And if he's black, and if you're in the system as being a cop, they know where the hell he is.
Exactly.
But just like the situation with George Floyd, they want to stick together as cops. And that's wrong. What's wrong is wrong. You don't allow things like that to happen. It doesn't matter. In that moment, you're supposed to think as a human being.
And a lot of people lack that.
That's not okay. What are you, afraid to lose your job? So that's why you're not going to speak up about something that's wrong? No, that's not how you go about things. No, that's not right. And people shouldn't have certain privileges just because they're cops. No. You should get charged just like anybody else. If we're in a car and I have a gun or I do something, we all in trouble. We're all in trouble. If I go to kill somebody and you're in the car, you're in trouble as well.
Of course.
Why are they standing there allowing that to happen? And they're not in trouble for that.
Because of the because you know why though too?
No.
It's because the laws that are taking place here that helps them get off certain things. No. So this is also why the justice system needs to be
as a human
fixed.
Being. How do you feel okay with just watching that happen?
Because that's not fair. That's not fair. And also, you know what? And I also will say this as well. For anybody that feels bold enough to videotape it, you're part of the problem as well.
Exactly.
Because I feel like if you have the ability to watch these injustices happen with Eric Garner, with George Floyd, with Michael Brown, with a lot of people that have these situations and other situations, not Philando Castro. No, that Philando Castro, no, because she did that because she was in fear of her life, and nobody would have known what would have happened if she never picked up her phone. His girlfriend, it could have been two, a mother, the husband or boyfriend and daughter dead. If that wasn't being able to be televised, I feel like even if Trayvon Martin, if we were utilizing cameras or people were seeing this, or how about this? He was in a neighborhood that he was trying to go home and he's being followed and he's asking people, crying for help, and no, the man who kills him now to this day is being paraded like he's a celebrity. He's selling his gun. George Zimmerman is selling his gun, making a mockery of this, suing the family because of this. You shouldn't be. There's certain things that people need to realize and open their eyes and to see that shit is fucked up. A country has systematically been built against us.
Right.
We didn't ask to be here. There's people that deliberately came here, was able to be picked up or come take a plane ticket or take a boat back in those days and come here. We never did that. We were snatched from our homes, but we never asked for this position. I never woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to be black today. No, I'm going to be white. I have no right to do that. I can't do that. And that's why we are frustrated. This is why we are protesting. This is why we are looting. This is why we are rioting. And if you want my opinion,
did you see that they were taking the bricks? The cops were taking the bricks out of the trucks and placing them on the road.
Oh,
so people can take them and throw them in.
You know that there was a lady with 3 cops
that were defacing. They want to make us look like we're the problem.
Defacing the police station, saying telling them to write Black Lives Matter. There's a video of that. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying. We're there. Even with that, I personally agree with the rioting. I personally agree with the protesting, with the peaceful protesting, and I agree with the rioting. The looting, I don't so much agree because it's not us. We're doing what we are trying to fight against, but we're following another race, the race that has oppressed us, the race that their agenda is to make us look like idiots, right? We're following behind white boys with skateboards, or we're following behind white women or people in general because they're part of the cause. Pay attention to what's going on. Whether I don't care if it's the media, social media, pay attention. Stop believing everything that goes on or what you see, because at the end of the day, it's not true. And we're being casted out as thugs by our own president. We're being called thugs. But when there was white people cussing and spitting,
he's the biggest thug of them all.
They're cussing and spitting on cops about haircuts because of coronavirus. They're cussing people out about haircuts, but we're thugs because we're following your thugs in Target, burning down places, because you know what? We didn't even burn down. They didn't even burn down the police station. They did. White folks did, and we're getting blamed for it.
You know, that's crazy. I keep seeing videos of them like literally putting bricks in certain areas, so like that's the first thing people could look at.
They're taking this and they're making this a field day for us, against us, because you know what? At the end of the day, we're the scapegoat. We've always been the scapegoat. Any situation that's been going on, we've been the scapegoat. Just like I said, I feel like my mother. I don't care if the person was black or not, he's a cop. It was a cop. But my mother was used as a scapegoat because she was either intoxicated or she wasn't driving right. No, I told you this too. I don't applaud that, but my mother would have got home that night. Regardless of whatever went down, my mother would have made it home. It's because of the fact that somebody thought that, oh, you know what? I'm going to be okay because I'm
in the position that I'm in.
I'm in the position that I'm in. So it's like, when are we going to be able to tear down the stigma that cops are above us? Because that's not true. You guys are low-level bastards.
Bitches.
You're low-level bastards that
and I'm not
wear
speaking
blue.
to the ones that stand up for the cause.
Of course. Like I said, there's great people. There's great cops. We're talking about the people that... We're not talking about the dirty cops that selling... No. We're talking about...
a privilege.
Exactly. That
whenever they get a chance to.
Exactly. Like I said, even with the situation with Breonna Taylor, that stuff right there scares you as a black person.
In your own home. Your
own home being broken down into your own home, and then you might have either been startled. I don't even know.
They said that she called the cops because she thought somebody was actually breaking into her house.
And it was the cops the whole time.
And they had no search warrant to go in there.
And it was the cops the whole time.
Yep.
And then and then they murdered her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, you're murdering
20 shots people. Into the apartment is what they shot. They let off 20 shots in there. She called 911 because she thought somebody broke into her place. She got shot 8 times out of those 20 shots.
And it's like...
She was an EMT working during coronavirus, helping other people.
So it's...
And this is what happened.
And it's that privilege. I don't hear not one name of the cops that did that. Not one. also to the fact that you guys need to, I don't know where you guys are getting your policing or where you're getting your training, whatever the case may be, but you guys are idiots. Some of you, like I said, in Connecticut, yes, you have, yes, I'm not even applauding it, but yes, there's some instances where there are people that are being discriminated, but sometimes I feel like we have to understand that sometimes we got to look at ourselves too. You can't keep on trying to blame the cops or yell at the cop's face. You can't do that, because then when you aggravate a situation, what you expect? Something's gonna happen. But the people that have been hurt, that's been killed, that's done wrong to, you can see in all the videos that they did not retaliate.
49 people. 49 people. I took my time out. 49 people, and I'm going to continue to keep looking in after this video and forever on, because I want to know. I want to know.
Nobody wants to see that.
Every situation. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know the reasons, and the reasons are never good.
Even
for them to do that.
Even another person, Sandra Bland. They took her under her custody for a routine traffic stop.
Yep, sure
did. A routine traffic stop. Took her in custody.
Told her to get out, and for no reason.
And killed her. Killed her, and then tried to use to give a mugshot of a woman, a dead body. I don't care what anybody says. That was a dead body that took that photo. A dead body that took that photo, because nobody smiles in a mugshot. Nobody smiles in a mugshot. Nobody. I don't care. Even if you're sick, yes, you get your crazy people that smile. You know what I'm saying? Determining what whatever the circumstances, they might be smiling. But as far as a regular human being that was taken in from a routine traffic stop because her taillight was out, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. But then you want to say she committed suicide. You can't say that.
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. Her case is one of the worst cases I've ever heard, because it's still a mystery. Nobody knows what happened because the camera shut off. So it's, at the end of the day, regardless of how we want to feel, we need to start policing ourselves and policing the police. So before we end the video,
I would like to send my condolences to all these families, and I would like to say all 49 of these names, just in case some of them were swept underneath the rug.
So we're gonna say the names, and then also to go back to my mother's situation, there is gonna be a fundraiser set up. So I'll be putting that in the link in the description, so that, you know, if anybody feels like they want to donate, or you can personally, I'll put my email. Remember these beautiful people, these beautiful souls that were able to
Black kings and queens
that were able to grace our presence and be a small piece of change in this world. So a bigger piece of change. They're not small, but to become a bigger piece of change that will hopefully, if we have kids, be able to change the future. So David McAtee,
Trayvon Martin,
Ahmaud Arbery,
Sandra Bland,
Breonna Taylor,
George Floyd,
Tamir Rice,
Botham Jean,
Betty Jean, Michael Brown, Atana Jefferson,
Eric Gardner,
Freddie Gray,
Walter Scott,
Alton Sterling, Orlando Castile,
John Crawford,
Oscar Grant,
Zell Ford,
Akai Gurley,
Jamar Clark,
Dante Hamilton,
Jeremy McDowell,
Jonathan Farrell,
Keith Lamont Scott,
Deborah Danner,
Ayanna Jones, which was a 7-year-old that was killed in the process of one of these incidents,
Tanisha Anderson,
Maya Hall,
Philip White,
Eric Harris,
Janet Wilson,
Natasha McKenna,
Mary McKenna, yeah. Mary Thulio.
Pamela Turner.
Joseph Mann.
India Kager.
David Joseph.
Ronell Foster.
Christian Taylor.
Frank Smart.
Michelle Cuss.
Eric Reason.
Wendell Celeste. Alteria Woods.
Victor Manuel La Rosa.
Felix Kumi.
Billy Ray Davis.
The biggest thing that we need change, or that needs to be changed or needs to be done, is that if you are above 18 or older, you need to vote. Locally vote, because these are the people that are making these laws. These are the people that are bringing the laws to the president for them to be signed, or enforcing these laws. We couldn't,
so we should take the opportunity.
Know when your local area is voting, and when they're voting for mayor, a senator, governor, because these people work for you. We cannot keep on standing by and letting these people feel like we're working for them. You have to work for them. They have to work
the world
for us.
is
exactly
going around. Like,
so we need to have these people.
They need us.
They need us, and we need to have these people under a small microscope, because we need them to be doing on for us and not saying that, oh, voting doesn't matter, because that's a lie. And I'm telling, as a black male and to black people, that it matters. You need to be able to put people in office that is going to fight for us. We need people that are going to stand by us and actually care about what we're dealing with and what we're going through. Not telling you guys to give us a handout, but make it easy like you make it easy for the other color. Don't make it easy just because of the fact that another person comes from the country and they're looking for. We're all looking for the American dream. We all are trying to be business owners. We're all trying to pursue a better life and do what we need to do. So, like I said,
take care of our families,
and be able to feel like we can create a family without fearing one of us dying. So, like I said, voting is definitely a big thing. Vote locally.
I have personally, by myself, when nobody's saying anything to me, looked for myself. So this is information online that you can see. These are videos you can watch. You know what I mean? Like. So
there are gonna be there are other links, not just my mother's situation, but we're also gonna put in the description below a petition to sign for George Floyd. Also, any other petitions that need to be signed, or any donations to other organizations as well that are actually here to fight for us. So, also too, I would like to educate you guys, to tell you to please go do a simple Google search on who's endorsing Trump right now, and you'll be surprised on a lot of companies that you support and that we love, how they're endorsing. So educate yourself, and also, like I said, that's why I'm supporting the looting, but I'm also supporting the rioting and the burning down of these certain corporations, because if they're not fighting for us, we don't need to be spending our money with it.
Absolutely not.
But this has been another video. We appreciate you guys listening to rant and ramble, but we need to let that be known, because at the end of the day, our lives matter.
Black lives
matter, and we need to be able to fight for each other and stand as one, because a lot of people are hoping for our downfall. So this has been another video with
BiNKY
and King. So like, comment, subscribe,
and ring that bell so you can be notified.
And we appreciate you guys, and keep on subscribing, and also share this video to everybody that you love and everybody that you know.
And again, rest in peace to all these beautiful black queens and kings.
Yeah.